Hello friends, this is Eric the Mind Control Guy. How's everybody doing this morning? Well, it's Thursday, March 19th of 2020. I'm just sitting here at work. A bunch of us just sitting around, not doing a whole bunch of anything. Not doing a whole bunch of anything, I should say. And we're having to pick up the slack of other divisions and all this kind of stuff. So we're just waiting to see what happens. Anyway, the reason I'm making this video, I had just something I was thinking about a while back, not too long ago. All these sanctuary cities, you know, bring us all your deadbeats, your homeless, your drug addicts, your people from the caravan. Yeah, remember that not too many months ago? All those endless miles of caravan, people just flooding in the United States, you know, and over there in the Gay Bay in San Francisco, you know, all the hypodermic needles laying all over the place, all the human fecal matter and the piss, and you know, people just laying here, laying there, just drop trowel, pinch off a grumpy right in the middle of the damn street, where they got to have all those biohazard units out there in biohazard suits picking up the needles and all that. Now we got this coronavirus. Well, I wonder if all those leaders with all that infinite wisdom to say, bring us all your trash, bring us all your crap, I wonder if they regret that move now. I wonder if they regret that move. I mean, they say, oh, you know, you can't have this many people in these places, or shutting down all the restaurants, all the bars, the nightclubs, concerts are being postponed, basketball seasons, professional sports, all these places, oh, you can't congregate. What are they going to do about all these tent cities? Are they going to raid all those tent cities? And are they going to be the first ones marched or put in cattle cars and taken to all of those FEMA camps? Remember several years ago when former governor of Minnesota, Jesse Ventura, actual name James Janos, but still goes by his old ring name, Jesse Ventura, him and Alex Jones got together and they were checking out all these rumors they had been hearing about the concentration camps, the FEMA camps on American soil. All those boxes that looked like enlarged coffins, disposable coffins, being able to put several bodies in there and then incinerate them. If his old TV show, Conspiracy Theory, has not been removed from YouTube yet, as the movie American Blackout was removed from YouTube. You can see bits and pieces of it now. But it used to be you could watch the entire movie on YouTube. We've been checking. Other people have been checking. They yanked it. American Blackout was about an EMP and all the different scenarios that could possibly happen. And all these movies that have been made in the years past, some recent years, some several years ago, about the pandemic. Everything that's going on now, they've already made movies about. One of them was made in Korea, called The Flu. Pandemic series, China was mentioned by name. And all these tent cities, all these drug addicts just laying around in the streets of San Francisco. I mean, they can't even afford to buy a hamburger. They can't even afford to buy a bag of apples. But boy, they can get their hands on that damn heroin, can't they? Now it makes me wonder. All these FEMA camps / concentration camps that were been set up years ago, but set up for years, waiting for something. Jesse Ventura was talking about it. Alex Jones, if people don't like him, fine, don't like him. But they were telling the truth. And people say, oh, you're just a bunch of tinfoil hatters, blah, 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 blah. And how many of you people are calling the rest of us tinfoil hatters are going to say that when you are inside those FEMA camps. All those people that made fun of preppers, guess what? The preppers are not the ones going out panic buying, raiding the stores. They have been doing their stuff for years. The people who are making fun of preppers all these years, those are the people going out panic buying. And preppers are sitting there laughing their ass off saying, told you so. But all these people's in tent cities, all these homeless people, and all over the country, you know, in Los Angeles and San Francisco, and, you know, all the big cities have them. Now I'm thinking, now I'm wondering, all of those FEMA camps that were built years ago and just been waiting for something. They've been waiting to be filled. Others that look like actual neighborhoods and everything, but they're inside fences. Now I'm wondering, is it this? Is this what they were waiting for? Something like the however the hell you say it, coronavirus? Chances are it was created in a lab somewhere. Yeah. This could very well be what it was all about. They needed something to happen. They weren't just going to round up people on their own and put them in there. They had to have a reason. A deadly virus, an epidemic. And now that the coronavirus is mutating, it's only a matter of time before they throw out another virus in there, like the movie Outbreak. Any number of things. The movie, the drug Flocka, the so-called zombie drug. Okay, now they got this coronavirus going on. What happens when they make the Flocka drug? What happens when they make it airborne and waterborne? So you don't have to inject it into your arm like these damn needleheads do. All you gotta do is breathe the air or drink the water. I've been saying it for a number of years now. Ever since I first heard about that Flocka drug and saw the videos on YouTube about what it's doing to people. Makes me wonder. Makes me wonder. All the targets, you go into gun stores, you go into Walmarts and places where they sell guns and ammunition, they have targets. Well, if you've been paying attention, all these targets now are not the old bad guy sitting there with the gun. They're all these images of these zombie-like creatures, human as well as animal. Ain't no animal going to take no Flocka. How are people and how are animals going to be infected in Flocka? People who are not drug addicts and don't do that crap. How in the hell are people or animals going to be infected with something that's going to turn them into zombies? They take a drug like Flocka, make it airborne as well as waterborne. We've been having a lot of rain when it's not been snowing or ice this winter. Actually, compared to others, we've had a fairly mild winter, although we've had days where we've had cold snaps and we've had our snow. We've had a lot of rain. There's been flooding. What happens when they release it in the air and in the water? Animals drink it, start freaking out, start attacking. People breathing it. End up just like them idiots you see down in Florida on that Flocka. Attacking people. Eating their face right off their body. Just like you would see in the movies. Which we have been inundated with for decades. All these zombie movies. You know, in 1960 or 61, they had one called The Last Man on Earth. Well, a number of years ago, they remade it with a different name, and it was virtually identical, starring an actor by the name of Will Smith. It was called I Am Legend. The old one, I believe it had Vincent Price in it, old legendary screen actor. You can find The Last Man on Earth and I Am Legend, put them side by side and watch them. It's the same movie. Matter of fact, my wife was doing research on it. Come to find out, The Last Man on Earth, its original name was I Am Legend. And then they changed it to Last Man on Earth. And then when Will Smith was in the movie, decades later, they changed it back to I Am Legend. In 1969, they had Night of the Living Dead. And then in the 70s, they had a bunch of these. They had Dawn of the Dead, Day of the Dead. The 80s, they had Return of the Living Dead 1, 2, and 3. They might have made more, I don't know. And then since then, they've been inundated with all these reanimation movies, also known as zombie movies. And it makes me wonder, just like with World War Z, and then they had Zombieland and all this kind of stuff, it makes me wonder, is what we're seeing with this coronavirus just the beginning of what's coming down? And as now things are starting to shut down, entire industries are shutting down, and then you have all these homeless people in these tent cities. They're going to be easy to round up and sent to the FEMA camps. It makes me wonder. It makes me wonder, is this what all that has been done the last 25, 30 years, all of this that's been going on, the whole thing back in the 90s, the black helicopters, UN troops, Chinese troops, people seeing this, people seeing that, FEMA camps going on, huge areas, something built and nothing's going on. It's like they're just waiting for something. This coronavirus, is this what they were waiting on? Or is this just the beginning? I'm convinced that the reason we've been saturated with all these zombie movies and images like the targets of animals and people, because I think they're gonna release something like the Flocka Drug, or something way worse than that, just like the 1984 movie Return of the Living Dead. And in the beginning of that movie, they said this movie was based on real events that actually happened. Who knows if you can find anything on those events, because I don't think they would have put it there if it actually happened. And in the movie, when they were doing the narration, the guy said, yes, these events did actually happen. Sometimes trying to find the information, because the powers that be, they make sure all that information is gone. And now I'm wondering, this coronavirus is the beginning, but are they actually going to release something in the air and in the water, making it waterborne and airborne, that's going to turn people into these zombies like creatures, flesh-eating creatures, which would be the only way that any rational person could justify just waste them. The Georgia Guidestone says the best way to save the Earth's natural resources is to reduce the Earth's population down to less than 1/2 billion. They've done it with wars, they've had diseases and all kinds of other stuff, old folks dying off, car crashes. But I mean, just to eliminate people in mass, how could they justify it? If there was some kind of illness that turned regular everyday people, like you and me, into flesh-eating creatures running wild, just rah, 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 rah. Waste them. Waste them all in mass. The insane machine guns, the firepower the U.S. military has, and others have. U.S. has stuff that's just wow. Anybody that's in the military, especially those guys in special forces and of the various flavors, they know that they just got stuff that's just incredible. Just the Vulcan and whatnot, things that fire, a couple thousand rounds a minute, and some even do a lot more than that. That just go and just saturate entire areas where people are infected with this thing. Or like in the second movie, Return of the Living Dead Part 2, the other way to deanimate them is to electrify them. Get them congregated in one area, saturate the place down with water, and then, have a large cable there and turn the juice on, electrify them. I think what we're seeing now is what's been prophesized all along. And all these idiots with their fancy degrees and all these wise-ass people out there saying, you tinfoil hatter, you prepper, you're so stupid. Who's laughing now? Sure as hell ain't you. It's people like me. And those who think like me. And those who have known about this kind of stuff for a long time. And we tried to tell you, but you didn't want to listen. So now you can just perish. We'll see what's going to happen in the days to come, friends. This is the Arctic Mind Control guy saying, take care.